All right, y'all. My bad. We're doing it live. Take two. Apparently, Xfinity is having issues, so there's nothing we could do. Hopefully, my mobile hotspot will hold up. Tried to figure out a way to get Jason the invite link. Um, we'll have to do this a getaway. When we go ahead and run the intro, and when we're done with the intro, we'll go ahead and we'll come back. That might be dangerous.
You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful. You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful, by the faithful.
All right, I was tripping and forgot to do this before we started last time. As every faithful should know, today is January 10th, 2023, which means, of course, is the 41st anniversary of the catch. We want to, of course, remember Dwight on this day, who, I mean, let's be real, he's probably a reason why a lot of us are watching the show right now. So, rest in peace, Dwight. Thank you. And always the awkward transition. So as I was saying before the internet rudely interrupted us, if this was any other team, I wouldn't be worried. We're a better football team. Honestly, the only weakness I see in this game is Amador Lenore. And I hate to say that because he was playing well in replace of E-Man for a little bit. But clearly, the last few weeks, it's just almost becoming a liability. And as we start to play receiver, like if we play a team that has only one receiver, well, that's not as big of an issue. But as we start playing teams with 2+ legit receivers, that could start to be an issue. Also, the fact, I mean, so you're saying the Niners are going to win 14 games in a row. I mean, let's do it. Fine, fuck it. We got to do it if we want to, end the quest for 6. But breaking down this game individually, I want to go ahead and give props to the Kittle Corn offensive MVP of the week, Mr. Brandon Ayuk, 4 receptions, 59 yards. But ultimately, why I made him the Kittle MVP of the week, this might really kind of just be Kittle Corn MVP of the season. Probably give it to CMC, honestly, but congratulations, 1,000 yards. I'd be honestly curious on when the Niners last had 2 receivers with back-to-back, or back-to-back 1,000 yards from the same receiver, let alone 2 different receivers. I'd be curious to see what that is. Defensive Bam Bam, defensive MVP of the week, Mr. Tayshaun Gibson, 2 tackles, 1 solo, but ultimately the 2 picks ended up being huge. Um, let me see. I wonder how long it'll take to load this. Um, so this game ultimately ended up being pretty important. Unfortunately, the Eagles won. So I ain't gonna lie, I was really, really, really trying for that 1 seed. I thought it might be possible. But when you start hearing the Giants were pulling starters and everything like that, I'm like, all right, well, obviously this isn't like baseball, but I'm not necessarily mad at the Giants. They got to do what they feel is best for their football team. And there was nothing for them to be gained by winning this game. Except I guess, honestly, their reward might have been getting to play the Eagles again. That might have been the reward for beating them. How ironic would that be? So you'll have Minnesota versus the Giants, us versus the Seahawks, and the Cry Girls will travel to Tampa Bay in the NFC. AFC, I actually haven't looked too much into the AFC. I know the Chiefs got the number 1 seed. Let me know in the comments. I mean, how are you feeling going into the playoffs? I mean, of course, right now you have to feel good. The team's just won 10 games and in pretty dominant fashion. But it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. I'm not really generally worried about the Seahawks except, division, crazy games happen. And then you have, of course, we'll worry about the second round when we get to the second round. But something just tells me Philly might be one and done. And ultimately, maybe you could argue, especially if Minnesota gets upset, that the 2 versus the 3 wasn't necessarily the most important thing, except, you got 2 road games, which honestly, we've done better at home this year. Tied for top record at home. And the last time we lost was at home. So Minnesota gets upset that it doesn't matter. But I like the fact knowing that we win, we're guaranteed at least one more game at the Field of Genius, and we'll see what happens the divisional week. Let me see if Jason's going to hop on. Has he even read the message? This might be a pretty short episode of NFR. If yeah, he hasn't even read the message. So I was trying to look up final stats for the players. How much are playoff tickets going for? I wonder how much season tickets are. Let's go look at season tickets. But how much are playoff tickets going for? Let's see how much it would cost me to go to that Niner game. Huh, that's funny. I guess I pinned the wrong one. Oh man, this show's going off to a kicking start. Um, I can't even load the stats. Adam. Oh, also, I wanted to definitely get to this. Adam Peters and D'Amico Ryans. I believe it was the Texans that Texans and Broncos asked permission to interview D'Amico Ryans. Tennessee asked permission to interview Adam Peters for the role of general manager. I saw Mama Debbie had posted that, and I said, ultimately, what I think the Niners should do. You promote John Lynch to president of whatever you got to call it, president of jack off syndrome. I don't care. And then you promote Adam Peters to general manager. You make up a role for John Lynch. It's because you're not getting rid of John Lynch. John Lynch is going to have to retire, quit, whatever you want to say it. You're not getting rid of John Lynch. But I feel that you have to keep Adam Peters. Adam Peters is the one that you could say, I don't know how much anymore, but John Lynch definitely leans on Adam Peters a lot. That's his right hand man. So losing him would be devastating. That the poaching has definitely started. The poaching has started. Okay, so for tickets to the Niners, um, okay, yeah, this is getting horrible. So that's off-season problems. I just, I really feel like this is not the last hoorah. This team's built to compete for the foreseeable future. But if you told me you believe the Niners have a better chance this year or next year of winning the Super Bowl, I'd place that bet on this year. Now, maybe if you put that Brock Purdy is, the starting quarterback, maybe my belief in next season goes up, or it being next season goes up a few percentage points. Not because I believe that Brock Purdy is going to be better than Trey Lance or anything like that, but just off a simple fact that I've seen what Brock Purdy can be. When have I really seen what Trey Lance can be? Sure, I've seen flashes, but you can't see enough of what Trey Lance. You have not seen enough to say I think that this is what Trey Lance is going to be. I don't. You can't. Maybe a little bit. I don't want to say negative, uh, or even injury prone. But I think that it's a legit question to ask: can Trey Lance stay healthy? That's my main question about him. I think a lot of the football stuff will play out, obviously, on the field. It's can we even get to the field? That's my main question. Can Trey Lance stay on the field enough for us to get enough of a sample size to take an educated guess on what he is? All right. Well, your boy's gonna go get information on premium seats or season tickets. So we'll see how that turns out. Um, I don't think Jason's coming by, but we'll go through our season predictions real quick, I guess, and then we'll go ahead and get up out of here if Jason doesn't hop on. Team MVP, I picked Bosa. Jason picked Debo. Jamie picked Juice. Kim picked Kittle. I think that I could say definitely I got that one right. Rookie of the year, I think Jason nailed it. Jason nailed it with Burford. Or could you say Brock Purdy? Who do you think's had a bigger impact? I mean, Burford's played, I believe, all but one game. But Brock Purdy's the quarterback. Where would we be right now if Brock Purdy didn't come through and be rookie of the year? I'm curious to actually talk to Jason about that one. We'll come back to that one. Sack. I mean, that's obvious. Everybody picked Nick Bosa right on that. Pick leader. I believe it was Talanoa. I believe it was Talanoa. We'll go ahead and click on that, and I'll add an asterisk to that one. I mean, Trey Lance is going to be on the roster, but yeah, if Purdy wins the Super Bowl, you at the very least got to keep it an open job next year. And you look at Trey and say, honestly, Trey, if you can't beat out Mr. Irrelevant for the starting job, then you don't deserve it. I'm sorry. 185 for standing room only for Niner tickets. Okay, stats. Here we go. So team leader, we said pick your rushing yards. I believe it's CMC. Oh yeah, Trey will definitely be number 2. I can see that. Okay. Passing. It's loading, my bad, y'all. It's loading. We'll come back to that. But yeah, I agree with you, Vincent. Trey's gonna be on this roster. He doesn't win the starting job, then he's gonna be the number 2. And then you'll see where we go as far as 31 sacks on the year. That's crazy. Third down conversions, we were 95 of 211. Fourth down conversion, 7 of 17. That's actually a total of 6,216 total offensive yards. On 1,047 plays, we got 5.9 per play. 2,360 rushing yards. 504 rushing plays, 4.7 to play or yards. 4,049, 7.9 to average. 27 to 32 on field goals, 52 touchdowns, 20 rushing, 30 passing, 0 returns, and 3 defensive touchdowns. And we were plus 13 on the year. We only gave up 32 touchdowns. We were a plus 20 in touchdowns. I have not heard anything. Kyle did not talk about it today in the press conference. Last I heard, it was going to be NFC Championship game would be the earliest. Damn, how dirty it loaded and it doesn't even say it. That's crazy. Okay, so we'll go back to that. Rushing yards and attempts. We were wrong. It wasn't Elijah. And I was wrong because it wasn't Wilson. Jamie was wrong. Kim was wrong. So I believe Jason was wrong too. So we were all wrong on rushing. But all right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and end this show. We'll be back. Matter of fact, before we get out of here, we're gonna go ahead and remind y'all. I'm gonna put it live as soon as we're done from here. The coupon code for this week will be Shecock Hater for your season 2 for the faithful by the faithful apparel. Go ahead and use our shop49ers.com affiliate link. It will be in the description of this video or podcast. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio. Get yourself some Niner playoff tickets. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. To see everywhere you can subscribe to the show, go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. Catch Jamie and Jason live this Friday at 7 p.m. here on the West Coast for NFR Weekly News Wrap. And catch us this Saturday, divisional round, game day shows. Pregame will be coming live at noon. Jason will be live with the halftime, and Jamie will go ahead and do postgame at 7 p.m. I'll go ahead and see y'all Saturday at noon. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.
You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful, by the faithful.
See ya.